Hi, this is Jack Cottle, your course director for motion graphics, and right now I want to talk to you a little bit about asset management. It's a very basic but crucial component of any motion graphics project. As we'll talk about later, After Effects does not embed your assets in the After Effects file. After Effects just links to your footage and audio and graphics wherever they may live on your hard drive. So it's crucially important that you keep things very well organized. You don't want assets laying on your desktop and some on a thumb drive and some on the work drive and just all over the place, because it makes it really difficult if you need to then move that project to another computer to work on, or if someone needs to come after you to work on the project, it makes it difficult for them to find files. And it makes it very difficult to back the project up. So I'm going to show you a simple basic folder structure that I want you to use. First, let's create a new folder called MGR. So this is where all your motion graphics class related stuff is going to go. So let's double click that. Then inside of here we want two folders. We're going to make a folder called Lessons. This is where you're going to put all the files that you download for the various lessons this month. You'll just drop them in this lessons folder. Between this and advanced motion graphics class, you're also going to be creating a final project, a broadcast graphics package project. So we want to keep all that stuff separate from your lessons. So let's make a folder for that, and we'll just call this graphics GFX project. Now we'll open that folder, and inside here we want a few folders. I'm going to make a new folder called Pre-Pro. So this is where you're going to put all your any thumbnails and storyboards, resources like your research or reference images, any of that kind of preparatory work is going to go in the Pre-Pro folder. The next folder I'm going to create is called the Design folder. And the Design folder is where all of your Photoshop or Illustrator files go when you're working out your design. So this is like the work in progress. You know, you'll have Photoshop or Illustrator documents that might have lots of layers. You know, maybe get 10 different textures in there that you're experimenting with and trying different looks and different blending modes, and you know, you haven't yet come to a final version that you're going to import into After Effects to animate. So all those go in the Design folder. So this is like your work in progress. You're working out your design there. The next folder that I'm going to create, I'm going to call AEP, and this is short for After Effects Project. This is where you need to save all your After Effects projects for your graphics project. And you may only have one project. You know, all of the various components that you need to create for this project could be in a single After Effects project. But it's a good idea to be saving multiple versions of your project. You don't want to have just one After Effects file, because what happens if that file gets corrupt, which isn't terribly uncommon? Then you've lost all of the work that you've put into it. So anytime you make a really big kind of major change or addition to the project, you want to save a new version. You know, so it may be called Graphics Project 01, Graphics Project 02, Graphics Project 03. So you have all these versions in this folder. So if the unthinkable happens and you crash in the middle of a project and it winds up corrupting that After Effects project, you can just go to the previous version, and all you've lost is what you've done since the last time you saved a version. Then the final folder that I'm going to create, I'm going to call Assets. So Assets is where you put your finished, prepped graphics that are ready to import into After Effects to animate. So what that means is you finalize the design, you've stripped out any layers that are no longer being used in the final design, you've named all the remaining layers appropriately and with names that make sense. You've broken out every individual component that needs to be animated individually on its own layer. So now this is completely prepped and stripped down and ready to animate. That's when you'll save that into the assets folder. So this is the file structure that you should be using for your graphics project.